Prix Espoo 2023 kilpailut jatkuvat. Vuorossa on jäätanssin rytmitanssikilpailu hetkisen kuluttua. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In just a few moments we will continue the ISU Grand Prix Espoo 2023 competitions with the Ice Dance Rhythm Dance competition. Arvoisa yleisö, esittelemme kilpailun tuomariston. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to introduce the officials for Ice Dance event. Kansainvälistä luisteluliittoa edustaa, representing the ISU, kilpailun ylituomari, the referee of the event, Hillary Selby. Tuomari numero 1, judge number 1, Espen Rotterud Runas, Norway. Tuomari numero 2, judge number 2, Jula Sombaterui, Hungary. Tuomari numero 3, judge number 3, Marketa Horklova, Czech Republic. Tuomari numero 4, judge number 4, John Millier, the United States of America. Tuomari numero 5, judge number 5, Jeroen Prins, the Netherlands. Tuomari numero 6, judge number 6, Yuri Klyushnikov, Azerbaijan. Tuomari numero 7, judge number 7, Leo Lengola, Finland. Tuomari numero 8, judge number 8, Kerstin Kiminus, Germany. Tuomari numero 9, judge number 9,
Welcome to Espoo in Finland for the ISU's Grand Prix Series. We are now at the penultimate stop with just the NHK Trophy in Osaka, Japan left to be competed. Today is the first day of competition in Espoo, and we have seen already the women's, men's and pairs events be decided, with just the ice dance competition left to be competed. Having seen sights of this beautiful city, we head inside the Espoo Metro Arena, opened in 1999 with a seating and capacity of almost 7,000 people, primarily used for ice hockey, but regularly still used for figure skating events, and indeed it has been host to one of the most prestigious events on the Challenger Series with the Finlandia Trophy, and more impressively perhaps the ISU European Championships in early 2023. And at that event, and indeed both of those events, Finlandia Trophy and Europeans, Julia Torkila and Matthias Versus have enjoyed some wonderful results for the Finnish skating community. The ice dancers achieving a bronze medal at European Championships and the first Finnish ice dance team to win the Finlandia Trophy. Have some just incredible experiences and memories from this fantastic arena. How will they fare in the ice dance competition coming up? They will be the 7th of 10 teams to compete, with the final team being Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, the world champions. And we've seen the world champion from the women's event, Kaori Sakamoto, coming out top after her short program. We assume the same will happen for Chalk and Bates. But before we get to that, we can look forward to this first group of 10 skaters. The ice dance rhythm dance for this 2023-2024 season must be set to music from the 1980s. And the Ice Dance Technical Committee being clear that the rhythm and the essence of the 1980s be evident in the choreography and the presentation by the teams, with Emily Zingis and Vadim Kolesnik, the first teams to compete in this event. And the confirmation that it will be the world champions Chalk and Bates, the 10th of the 10 teams competing. But they were beaten last year on the Grand Prix by Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen, who will be eager to try to replicate that at Grand Prix Espoo. As we see Miss Hilary Selby, the referee for this event, she a member of the International Skating Union's Ice Dance Technical Committee, and she, along with others, responsible for the decisions made for the couples this season. Ingrid Charlotte Walter, the technical controller, another pivotally important member of the ice dance community in helping to steer and shape the decisions made and encouraged for the teams in terms of what is performed within the ice dance this season.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with big applause the couples of the first group. Okay. And they are Yhdysvalloista, from the United States of America, Emilia Zingos, Vadim Kolesnik. Ungarista, from Hungary, Maria Ignatieva, Daniil Leonidovich Stenko. Suomesta, from Finland, Juka Orihara, Juho Pirinen. Kanadasta, from Canada, Nadia Bashinska, Peter Beaumont. Saksasta, from Germany, Jennifer Janse van Rensburg, Benjamin Stefan. Luistelijat, 5 minuutin verryttelyaika alkaa. Skaters, you have 5 minutes for your warm-up.
Five-minute warm-up now underway. The Ice Dance Technical Committee keen to express that the rhythm dance shouldn't be skated in the style of a free dance. And the couple must use dance movements and dance holds to interpret the chosen music from this decade. Fascinating has been to see how the coaches, choreographers and skaters embrace the information given to them, creating the choreography for this year's rhythm dances. As we look at Emily Zingis and Vadim Kolesnik.
They represent the USA. Her hobbies are spending time with family, cooking, long walks with friends, and dancing. His hobbies are
nice to see smiles shared between the teams as they try to fit in their elements within this warm-up. American ice dance just so deep in its quality and number of teams. Maria Ignatieva and Daniil Simko. Less than 6 months ago, Daniil broke his foot. Wonderful to see them on the Grand Prix. This, their first Grand Prix as a senior team. Proudly flying the flag for Hungarian ice dancers. Just working through their pattern dance type step sequence, one of the elements in the rhythm dance. Juka Orihara and Juho Pirinen. A team that said simply that they are excited to perform here. Of course, that makes total sense as one of 2 Finnish teams competing.
From Finland, Juka Orihara, Juho Pirinen.
And they will be skating to iconic music by Madonna for their rhythm dance. They work through their sequential twizzles, another of the elements necessary for all the teams. As we look now to 2-time World Junior bronze medalists Nadia Bashinska and Peter Beaumont. They won the Grand Prix final in the junior category last year.
She's 20 years old and he 22 years old.
This their first senior Grand Prix assignment.
And drinking coffee. His hobbies are cycling, art, and gym. From Canada, Nadia Washinska, Peter Beaumont.
Peter totally embracing the 80s theme with the guyliner.
Jennifer on 30-vuotias ja Benjamin 27.
From young aspiring Canadian stars to the German senior national champions twice over, Jennifer Jans van Rensburg and Benjamin Stefan.
She's 30 years old and he 27 years
They competed at the Skate Canada event in Vancouver, and he said following that event she could live there, just really enjoying the opportunity to represent Germany around the world. And they come here straight from the Dennis 10 Memorial in Kazakhstan. Their travels continue. So you may have just seen a little fall for Emily Zingas, the first competitor from the United States of America. It's a rarity that the dancers would take a spill. So hopefully that doesn't affect Emily in her preparation. She's so new to ice dance, but how she's embraced the discipline, really amazing. And whilst it is synchronized skating that Finnish figure skating is excelled in most, with most world champions in that skating art form, ice dancers in Finland successful too, with Susanna Rakamo and Petri Koko, former world silver medalists and European champions, and Susanna Rakamo, member of the ISU now as well, working to promote the sport. And indeed, it was a Finnish team that created the fin step, which was and has been a pattern dance used in senior ice dance competition in the last decade.
Please leave the ice.
So to the team from the United States of America, the first of 3 American teams, Emily Zingas and Vadim Kolesnik, 5th at the Skate Canada International in Vancouver, that being their first senior Grand Prix assignment. And 3 weeks on from that competition, hoping to achieve new personal bests. They skate to music by Michael Jackson. So much transitional content within the difficult turns of that midline step sequence. just about squeezing through the third twizzle for Emily. Wow, what a brilliant way to open the rhythm dance competition. Emily Zingas and Vadim Kolesnik from the United States of America. Maybe just that third twizzle, the Group C feature for the twizzles, dropping a level for Emily in that element. However, certainly in isolation before we've seen any other teams, it's hard to imagine how much better it can get. So well matched for a team so relatively new compared to the others who have had, in some cases, over a decade of training together. And the program appears to have had embellishment in terms of the transitions, some additions to make even more complexity, and all of which backed up with a sharpness that Michael Jackson choreography needs. Igor Spielband, coach and choreographer. It blows my mind to hear that Emily is a full-time student studying neuroscience, passionate about her education, obviously passionate about performance, and it was performance that she so loved as a single skater, making this transition to ice dance all the easier and more enjoyable, surely. And in terms of the essence of the 80s, the criteria that the Ice Dance Tech Committee won, those slow-mos really showcase that. Jump entry, a feature into this, the stationary lift, both hitting their difficult features. And there, a right forward inside bracket for Vadim, that's one of the difficult turns as part of their pattern dance type step. Pattern dance type step needs 2 difficult turns for each partner, each cleanly called one, so up the level. And this, from the initial camera angle that we saw through the program, showcased a magnificent match. Here, the back inside twizzle, so well matched up. Just think that perhaps Emily checked the rotation of the third twizzle and dropping level loses a little bit. Just a shout out to Mom, Dad, and Novi in Michigan, where they train as well. They've been clear about their goal as making the team for the 4 continents and the World Championships. Big scores in which to achieve that. 72.13, their personal best 75.61. Perhaps Emily just pursing her lips there because she knows it could have been a little bit more. But it will all be relative as we watch the remaining teams compete and see the scores posted. And now to Maria Ignateva and Daniel Semko from Hungary. Push it, a total eclipse of the heart. have to show a mandatory skidding or stopping movement before this, the pattern dance type step sequence. The outside closed mohawk. And Daniil. And there's their choreo rhythm sequence, which must include steps from the Silver Samba. Maria Ignateva and Daniil Zemko from Hungary. It was really amazing to see them competing on the Grand Prix, given that Daniil broke his foot just less than 6 months ago. Amazing accomplishment. I think it's interesting to note that the team are topped by Alexandra Svinin and Irina Zhuk, who have been responsible for so many Russian ice dance teams, and you can see, to me, the similarity in technique to Stepanova and Buchan, a successful team, and you can see the technique and the extension match in that technique that you've seen in other teams. Such a technique is hard to then embrace a 1980s essence when the skaters are so conditioned to working on basic skating skills where line and finish is a mandatory. I don't think line and finish and extension were something that necessarily embody the essence of the 80s. So a challenge for some of these teams to totally embrace that. But nevertheless, costumes were on point, as was the spray to the hair for Daniil. Daniil explained that born in Ukraine, his family currently living in Israel, and he knows that his skating will bring them joy in such hard times. And the team skate for their families now, and I'm sure they're incredibly proud, and as he said, full of joy to see this. See there the back inside counter, part of the pattern dance type step sequence. As I say, 2 difficult turns each, and it looks like just a level 1 for Maria and Daniil. The difficult entry into the curve lift, that inside spread eagle feature, as too is Maria's. And that transitional content at the end, enough to justify that extra feature as difficult exit and secure the curve lift level 4 from the tech panel. And the tech panel's inputs for Maria and Daniil will see them fall short of their score at the Dennis 10 Memorial just last week. That was 59.53. Here just a level 1 for Maria in the midline step, a level 1 pattern dance type step. So as they get more comfortable, as he returns from injury,
Köszönjük szépen mindent. Köszönjük.
As he returns from injury, they get more comfortable. Those scores, I'm sure, will return to what they have used in previous seasons to achieve some pretty big points. But nice to see Daniil taking his moment in the kiss and cry to acknowledge the family that he speaks so passionately about. 57.57. Be disappointing for the Hungarian team.
Seuraavana vuorossa Suomesta. Next to skate from Finland.
But you can hear the cowbells supporting the Finnish team on the ice, the Finnish flag being waved around the arena for Jukka Orihara and Juho Pirinen. And their Madonna montage starting with Like a Prayer.
Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Are you wasting my time? Are you just being kind? Oh no, baby, my love isn't blind. Say what you mean what you say. Don't go, no, I'll look away. God strike me dead if I did you wrong. This is not a love song. Come on, girls. Do you believe in love? 'Cause I got something to say about it. And it goes something like this. Don't go for second best, baby. Put your love to the test. You know you got to make him express how he feels. And baby, then you know your love is real.
Good use of outside spreads and inner bars within the choreo rhythm sequence to intersperse the silver samba steps. Delighted crowd for Jukka Orihara and Juho Pirinen from Finland. And their coach, former world champion Maurizio Margali, would express that they want to feel like they're on stage for a great 1980s concert. And I think this team seemed to really get into an 80s essence, however that may be. Maybe that energy that they aspire to look like an 80s concert, backed up by the fact that they are in front of a home crowd, unlike the previous two teams that have competed. It certainly a fun performance, and that'll be echoed again when they skate to Chicago tomorrow for their free dance. This team performed in Daisuke Takahashi's show in May at the Ice Explosion, and I don't know if it's that or just the great coaching that they have that has really pushed the performance capabilities for Yuka and Yuho, seeming to really embrace performance and crowd pleasing as a factor. You didn't sense that there was as much fixation in the steps and turns to accrue higher levels in the path and dance type step, as we see the entry into the twizzles. Arm above the head a feature, the catch of the free leg a feature to push the level, whilst all the time trying to create more ice coverage. So you have a look at the diagonal step sequence. Again, just low level still for this team, just a level 2 and a level 1 on that element. A standard and expected level 4 for the lift. And level 4 lift comes in at 5.45, but they add to that score with a good grade of execution and an extra point added based on the positive features. Here, some of the silver samba steps within the choreo rhythm sequence. Just have a little bit more commitment and connection to the extension of the free legs there, and it'll be those tiny details such as that separate the teams here, who are all of such a high standard caliber. As we see Neil Brown and Maurizio Margalio, who are working so hard to support Finnish ice dance and doing a brilliant job. Yuka dissatisfied not to have crossed over the 70-point marker, but a smile returns. Just saying it's okay to have a 69.52 and be in second place of the 3 teams. Well, Nadia Bushinska celebrated her 20th birthday, traveling around the world to Finland to compete here in their first senior Grand Prix assignment for Nadia Bushinska and Peter Beaumont. Difficult entry to get into the start position. Really clean turns from Peter within the pattern dance type steps. Good transitional content as well. Delighted that Nadia Vishenska and Peter Beaumont, maybe less together in their celebration, but showcasing the united partnership that has achieved them 2 Junior World Championship bronze medals. And the Maple Leaf flag here to celebrate them. And this team, I recognized very early in their statement for the music choice that they would use in the 1980s rhythm dance this year. They've taken the theme and running with it. They explained that they wanted to push their boundaries in creating 2 very opposing programs to show and explore their diversity in skating styles. And they said that they've trained with the utmost intensity to build both the mental and physical strength to take the step up to the senior ranks. And to me, the pattern dance type step has so many picture moments in that. Their ability to intersperse the difficult turns with lots of difficult transitional content was really evident. Caroline says it's lovely. She's happy. The ice dancers so committed to the theme, right from the hair to the makeup. And there's some of that transitional content, I think, within the pattern dance type step, showcasing flexibility and novelty. There were some aspects within it, different movement. This a little bit more conventional in the rotational lift. All the teams, of course, level 4, and it seems so far at this stage most getting a similar grade of execution. Forced to nitpick perhaps the choreo rhythm sequence, maybe a smaller pattern than some of those that we've seen, so maybe skating skills influence at that point a little lower than some of the others, but really forced to nitpick because the team is already so very strong in their first senior Grand Prix. You can see, again, in terms of the feeling and essence of the 80s, their features within the Twizzles do show their commitment to that, not going for same leg or arm movements that they'll use in their more classical Romeo and Juliet free dance.
Ovat saaneet rytmitanssistaan 67,68 pistettä. Ja näin yhden kauden parhaansa. Sijoitus tällä hetkellä
67.68. That a new season's best.
and this is their new season's best. Current ranking 3rd.
Nadia saying that's reasonable, and belated happy birthday celebrations to her.
Seuraavana vuorossa Saksasta. Next to skate from Germany.
And from one team new to the senior ranks to a team
Benjamin
more familiar faces in senior competition, Jennifer Jans van Rensburg and Benjamin Stefan. Skating to Don't Leave Me Now, and hoping for a cleaner skate than that which they had at the Skate Canada International. Choosing a unique pattern, adding a loop within their choreo rhythm sequence. And again, deviating from the conventional use of ice coverage in space. transition, more comfortable than in Vancouver. Jennifer finishes with the back inside counter as part of the pattern dance type steps. Jennifer Jans van Rensburg and Benjamin Stefan, the German champions. That a cleaner performance for sure than at Skate Canada in Vancouver, and the ice dancers, as the season progresses, just continue to sharpen, refine and hone their performances. And so much of the ice dancers' performance delivered on increased presentation. Interesting to note as we watch the singles discipline that some of the skaters suffering perhaps with back-to-back events and limited training time. The ice dancers seem to really benefit from increased performance opportunity, and that seems to be the case for Jennifer and Benjamin. Competed in the Dennis Tent Memorial just a few days ago. Big hug from coach Rastislav Sinitsin and then Igor Spielband, who they've worked with a little in the States as well. Not making it easy in the beginning transition. And there, one of the steps from that silver samba. Twizzles. Benjamin just getting a level 3 on his. That's a little bit of spinning on the front of the blade, not managing to travel across the ice. So the technical panel catching sight of that, dropping a level there. And a great chance to see the support within the hold for that right inside bracket. That one turn for Jennifer, chance to bump the level of this, the pattern dance type step. Get a level 2, so 2 of their 4 difficult turns deemed sufficiently clean by the 3 members of the tech panel. I think we've only seen level 2s thus far for that element for all the teams that have competed. So a 65.53 lower than they had just a few days ago at the Dennis 10 Memorial. So Jennifer and Benjamin reacting well to a score that wouldn't have been what they hoped for. And they slot into 4th of the 5 teams at this stage. So they may have been the first team to compete, but Emily Zingas and Vadim Kolesnik have led through the event, and by a fairly large margin in ice dance standards. But they'll be hoping to stay competitive as we look to the next 10 skaters taking to the ice.
Ja he ovat luistelijat. The skaters are Tsekeistä, from Czech Republic, Katerina Mrazkova, Daniel Mrazek. Suomesta, from Finland, Julia Turkkila, Matias Parsluis. Yhdysvalloista, from the United States of America, Christina Carrera, Anthony Panamarenko. Kanadasta, from Canada, Laurence Fournier-Baudry, Nikolai Sørensen. Yhdysvalloista, from the United States of America, Madison Chock, Evan Bates. Luistelijat, 5 minuutin verryttelyaika alkaa. Skaters, you have 5 minutes for your warm-up.
So Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sørensen must remove their sunglasses before they start their warm-up. But again, further confirmation of the intense commitment that the ice dancers make to their choreography, their interpretation, and their commitment to this 1980s theme. And we're really getting to enjoy the product of decades worth of commitment to their craft for many of these ice dance teams. There, Katarina Mrazkova and Daniel Mrazek, the brother and sister team who are the junior world champions. They're working their choreo rhythm sequence. Silver samba steps number 9 to 47. Women's steps and or the man's steps skated by either the man or the woman or a combination of both, provided that there is a continuity of prescribed steps, all performed by at least one partner. That's the criteria. And each team trying to make their own stamp upon it. As we see, I'm sure the skaters who will receive the loudest applause, Julia Tarkia and Matthias Verslus from Finland. They have been together since 2016, but that less than many of the top teams that they're vying to push towards beating.
From Finland, Julia Turkkila, Matthias Verslus. Kristiina on 23-vuotias ja Antoni 22.
And then to Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko, 10th at the World Championships in Saitama, Japan, just off the rostrum at the Four Continents last season.
She's 23 years old and he 22 years old.
And they had success here at the Finlandia Trophy, but they were just one spot behind Tequila and Versus, who they're up against again here on home soil. They haven't got it easy in terms of their international assignments against them, regards location. And then to Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sørensen. Obviously going for wonderful themes and thematic throughout their rhythm dance. Top Gun theme could be more visible in the costumes, even without the sunglasses.
Family time and outdoor activities, and his hobbies are knife making, cooking, gardening, and woodworking. From Canada, Laurence Fournier-Baudry, Nikolai Sørensen.
And then the final team, the world champions. And what a joy it must be for them to finally hear that. They've been together for 13 seasons and ultimately rewarded with the world title in Saitama, Japan. And how wonderful that they've returned to competition. Many of the top teams in the ice dance community not making total commitment to the next Olympic Games. Many would have suspected that Chock and Bates could have taken that world title and retired. All of us so grateful that they have stayed within the competition ranks. And you get to enjoy even more developed and honed choreography from them. I particularly love the concept that they've created for their free dance. Looking forward to that tomorrow. In addition, their Queen-inspired rhythm dance. Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sørensen on your screen. hoping to try to repeat the upset that they had at the NHK Trophy last year where they beat Chalk and Bates. As Barbara Retsnikova hugs her students, Katrina and Daniel, who will be the first to skate. A whole different feel for that team now on the senior circuit, having dominated so much of the junior season last year en route to their junior world title. So junior world champions, home champions from Finland, world champions. An exciting group of 5 teams in this penultimate Grand Prix event of the series. Well, last season, Katarina Mrazkova and Daniel Mrazek, the brother and sister team from the Czech Republic, were just incredible in their speed and ice coverage in dominating the junior ranks en route to that World Junior title. Their power and acceleration, quite incredible. How will that now compare as they step up into the senior field? 8th at Skate America.
Oh, the night is my world. Oh, the night is my world. City lights, painted girl. In the day, nothing matters. It's the night, time is back. In the night, you take myself control. You got me living only for the night. Before the morning comes.
Well, that speed and ice coverage still very evident. Biggest pattern on the choreo rhythm sequence.
I'm living in the forest of my dreams. I know the night is not as it would seem. I must believe in something, so I'll make myself believe it.
Just reaching every barrier on that first element.
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely, and you're never coming around.
Now perfect for the turnaround vocal
Every now
to start the
and then I
twizzles.
get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have gone by. Every now and then I get a little bit helpless and I'm lying like a child in your arms.
Have to show a steady movement, but barely taking a moment to pause as they continue to
Look in your
amass amazing speed.
Every now and then I fall a try. Every now and then I fall a Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart. It's gotta be strong and it's gotta be fast.
Katerina Mrazkova and Daniel Mrazek, junior world champions. Interesting to see though, for as much as I've raved about their epic speed and ice coverage, the technical panel here is coming out with a level 1 on the pattern dance type step sequence and a level 1 for both on the midline steps. So the technical panel not satisfied that the depth or quality of their difficult turns was evident, but the speed's just amazing. And the judges' component scores in regards to the skating skills, which for so many seasons has been the hook for the other components, flow, glide, power, speed, and acceleration is a big factor in the criteria for the judges. And so for me, they should really be pushing some of the highest components that we've seen by some way. Maybe the lack of clarity on those difficult turns will make it difficult for them to stay ahead of the leading Zingis and Kalishnik from the United States of America. Barbara hugs them off the ice. And this choreo rhythm sequence, and they're touching the, close to touching the barrier which the judges were at. Here, as you see the extensions getting across the opposite barrier, and then even here getting back down to where they started. That ice coverage greater than any that we've seen so far. As I say, turn around, the Bonnie Tyler lyric to showcase the turning around within their twizzles has to be rewarded in terms of composition. And there the curve lift. They've broken world records in the juniors and the rhythm dance. And in doing that, they achieved a 71.87 last year on the Junior Grand Prix. Haven't managed to achieve that this season yet. And it's so often the case that it takes a decade of commitment to achieve the dizzy ranks of medals at seniors. When we think of Piper and Paul, Charlene and Marco, and Madison and Evan, they've all been together for over a decade. Barbara Ritsnikova with them, a 4-time Austrian champion herself. And Matteo Zani, another one of their coaches who have done so well in pushing ice dance teams to great success in the juniors and now heading into the seniors as well. So 17.59, nearly 3 points higher than Skate America. And applause from Katrina and Barbara. And now to the Finnish national champions. They've just had all of their greatest successes and experiences in this arena. 3rd European Championships, the first Finnish ice dance team to win the Finlandia Trophy, also in this arena. Can they repeat the bronze medal that they achieved at the Grand Prix Espoo last year, or perhaps even better? Julia Turkia and Matthias Terslus. Well, to the delight of the home crowd, Julia Turkia and Matthias Versus complete their rhythm dance.
Julia Turkkila, Matthias Versluis.
And their success in this arena surely propelling them to more confidence as they go up against the experienced Canadian and American teams yet to perform. It's interesting in terms of the essence and rhythm of the 1980s. I've referenced already in other teams how hard it is to embrace that when there's such a technique evident in the bodies of their fundamental ice dance movement. And Yulia, so balletic and classical in her style, seemed to really showcase 80s movement. And I thought the choice of music and the change for the pattern dance type step really was the perfect vehicle for this team and showing 80s rhythm in essence. A team that performed in the Milano Cortina 2026B inspired show at the start of this month in Italy. It's surely that confirmation that they will be eyeing that 2026 Olympics as a chance for them to really try and make a step towards the podium at World Championships, not just at European Championships. So many incredibly strong teams on the circuit this year. It's that standard and depth of talent in the ice dance community that's pushing these ice dancers to achieve brilliance. Right throughout the top 10 in the world. And this, the stationary lift. With Neil and Mauri, they're totally invested. The only mistake I could see was it just missed his finger, it missed his boot at the very end. Found it a little at the end. So a 75.76 is the score that they achieved in the rhythm dance en route to that history-making win at the Finlandia Trophy here just over a month ago. But it's a 77.65, 900ths of a point higher than their personal best. Wow. Convincing new leaders, putting pressure on those yet to come. So from the couple that were 9th at the World Championships to the couple that were one spot behind them, 10th at Worlds, from the couple that won Finlandia Trophy to the couple that were 2nd at Finlandia Trophy, can Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko lay down a rhythm dance that overturns the home favourites, Julia Turkila and Matthias Versus, who lead at this stage. Music by Stevie Nicks.
Would you change your mind at the very last moment? Would you say stop for a second
A really interesting pattern within the choreo rhythm sequence. Doubling round the ring. That's an emphatic finish for Cristina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko. And their coach Adrian Diaz explaining that this is their 5th competition of this season, and already they've shown consistency and improvement. And any pressure that you might think they would feel in going up against, well, soon becoming their stiffest competition in the Finnish team at home in Finland, wasn't evident. Again, laying down a solid performance. And interesting to see that Julia and Matthias had just a level 1 in their midline step, but a level 3 and a level 2 given to Christina and Anthony. So from a tech perspective, as they advance towards Scott Moyer, their coach, looking strong. How will the judges, the 9 judges that input these grades of execution and program components, seal their fate in comparison to the Finns? And the judges have that clear criteria. There's a sheet that the judges have in regards to negative features and positive features for each of these elements. You could argue they're slightly out of unison there on that first twizzle, which could go into one of the negative features in terms of poor execution if a judge wanted to be really strict. But then those twizzles covered masses of ice, and so that in itself is a positive feature which could up the grade of execution. But the judges have to be really clear in what they can do to justify the positive or negative features, which ultimately define the scores for the tech score. And this, the curve lift. I remember first seeing it in their free dance last year. Just abs of steel for Christina. Amazing. Scott Moyer, the most decorated figure skater in Olympic history, with his partner Tessa Virtue. And between Anthony's parents, Scott Moyer and Madison Hubble, they have 9 Olympic medals on their coaching staff and parents. So almost destined for Olympic greatness themselves. Cristina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko, 74.58. And the reaction to that score really positive, and a new season's best for the American team. Handshakes and hugs as they move into second place. And what you assume is their expectation coming into this event.
Seuraavana vuorossa Kanadasta. On the ice representing Canada, Laurence Fournier-Baudry.
And now to Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen. The Top Gun theme, obviously one of the top movies from the 80s, iconic in its storytelling and embraced completely by Laurence and Nikolai now.
It takes a lot more than just fancy flying.
I am dangerous. Talk to me, Goose.
This the airplane move from Maverick and their straight line lift to open the rhythm dance.
Maverick and Goose. Great, great, great.
brilliant performance from Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen. Laurence explaining this mix highlights their qualities: power, connection, and romance. And they really have such amazing attributes to be able to exploit, built on such a solid foundation of great skating skill. And the technical panel currently reviewing the diagonal step sequence. The initial input for Laurence was a level 4. Real testament to her edge set within that. And they said that they actually wanted to skate to this the year of the Olympics and postponed that choice, but perfect for this year's 1980s theme.
We meant to ask you, but then we were like... Demotion, in fact. You have to be here with us.
Promotion or demotion. Scott Moore here for the Ice Academy in Montreal to support the team. And they're testament to the connection between them. As I say this, that inverted dive, airplane move from Maverick and their straight line lift. Look at the ice coverage and look at the gorgeous long running edge, both on her right back outside edge and his 3-turn there. So the best skating skills. Can they push into the 9s, higher into the 9s out of 10 on the skating skills as well? And I feel like in ice dance community at the moment, the medalists from last year's World Championships, such strong teams. How can Laurence and Nikolai push towards breaking into that? And they're doing all they possibly can. And I mean, how can you say that that's not presentation and commitment to the theme there? Love this transition to conclude the rhythm dance. Just a brilliant program for this team, and so different to that which they will perform in the free dance. They had an 80.98 in France 2 weeks ago. The personal best 86. And it's all relative to some extent, but of course each of these teams eager to win, of course competitively instilled in their being will be gold as a focus, but also comparison with other teams, so much life commitment to the pursuit of a World Championship medal towards the end of the season. Laurence looks fixated. Nikolai waiting to hear. So they seem satisfied with 82.62. They create a barrier of 5 points between them and Yulia and Matthias. What will be the gap above or below them for the world champions, the last team to skate, winners at Skate America. And now, this season, can forever be introduced as world champions. Skating to a Queen medley with the midline step, their opening element. fabulous transition within the pattern dance type step. What a brilliant transition out of the choreo rhythm sequence. And a rotational lift to excite the audience here in Espoo. Madison Chalk and Evan Bates currently with a tech score already nearly 3 points higher than every other team. So you wonder how many maximum grade of execution inputs have been awarded by the judges.
Madison Chalk, Evan Bates.
Just wonderful. And as I scramble to see the comparison between others on the circuit this season already, wonder how it will compare. And I just have this overwhelming feeling of gratitude towards these ice dance teams like Chalk and Bates, who returned to the competitive ranks, who have worked so hard on new material, and obviously Queen, iconic music. You wonder if, because they have that title of world champions, they got dibs on it above everybody else. Such a fantastic framework to show so much of that storytelling that they're brilliant at. Patrice Lauzon greets them off the ice. And even this, before the blades glide, so much work will have gone into this with their coaches and their choreographers. Here, the use of his heel and her toes, mastery of the blade from back to front of it. And unison throughout the twizzles too. Not perhaps as much speed, flow and glide as that of the Canadians who lead at this stage. In the sense that more steps and movement than any other, and aspects like this, choosing after the slip steps within the choreo rhythm sequence to exploit their brilliant lifting capabilities. And here the rotational lift too. And interestingly, Evan explaining that they love this, the groove and the 80s vibe for everyone, and as the world champions, they are the spokespeople for ice dancers to some extent, and they just saying how positive this 1980s choice has been. And they obviously train at the Ice Academy in Montreal, where there are an abundance of different teams experiencing the 1980s, and great to know that it's being well received by them all. So Chalk and Bates wanting to close in on the 87.55 from Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. So it is the lead by almost 3 points exactly. But they will scrutinize the feedback from judges and tech panel. Keep seeing these scores scale higher. Somebody's awarded flowers of the perfectly appropriate color to Madison Chalk. So those are the expected results for the ice dance rhythm dance, with the world champions Chalk and Bates leading Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Nikolai Sorensen, ahead of the Finnish home favourites Julia Tequila and Matthias Verslus. And the 1980s rhythm dance on the Grand Prix has just one more outing before the final.
Ice dance free dance will be tomorrow in the evening at 7:40 p.m.
Confirmation from the ground announcer that the free dance will be the final competitive event tomorrow. Chance to look back at the top 3 performances from day one in Espoo. I think the only team that achieved perhaps a personal best. Confirm that with the skating scores later. Yulia Turkia grasps for the boot of her partner as a chance to look at the epic straight line lift from Laurence and Nikolai to open their rhythm dance. What a picture. What a dismount too. Maverick to Notre Dame de Paris tomorrow for them. And a fascinating concept we have to look forward to in the free dance for Chalk and Bates. Who delivered in the rhythm dance to lead the field, achieving a season's best in the process. So the first day of competition concludes now at Grand Prix Espoo. Make sure that you join us for the second day of competition, which kicks off with the men's free skate, and that will start at 12:30 local time tomorrow. I'm Mark Henretti. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to sharing more great skating tomorrow in Espoo.